In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a simple interior space with checkerboard floor in 1-point perspective. And just to show you what we're working towards, it's going to look a little something like this. You can still see we just have our one vanishing point, and we're going to create a room where we have a back wall, 2 side walls, a ceiling, and a floor. And you can see I started a checkerboard floor, and I'll show you how to put a window and a doorway in there as well. So this is a little bit different than what we previously did, as you're actually not going to start with your horizon line because we're working with an interior space. And when you're in an interior space, you don't necessarily see that horizon line that you see outside. You're going to see a back wall if you're looking straight at the room from 1-point perspective. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw out your back wall. And you certainly don't need to measure this to be exact. I'm just going to kind of eye mine. And I'm going to start by drawing a rectangle roughly in the center of my page. And you don't want to go too big with the rectangle. You can watch me put mine in here a minute so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so there I have my rectangle. And what we need to do from here is we need to find the center of the rectangle. That's where the vanishing point is going to be. So to do that, you're going to line up your ruler from one edge to the other and just draw a small line in the center. Keep it light. And then you're going to repeat on the other side, keeping it light. And in the center of that X, that's the middle. So I'm going to put my vanishing point right there. And then you can just erase those little lines that you drew. Again, if you want to label it VP, you can for vanishing point, or you can just go ahead and leave it. I'm just going to leave mine this time around. So now what you're going to do is you're going to draw the wall, the rest of the walls, and the ceiling. So to do so, you're going to line up your vanishing point to the top corner. And then from this edge, you're going to draw till you hit the edge of the paper, okay? And then you're going to repeat the same on this side, going down, and then I'm going to repeat on my other side here. And it's okay if your lines go off the paper, and it's okay if one side is bigger than the other side. Okay, so now what you're looking at, you should have an interior space, should start to look like that at least a little bit. You've got your back wall, 2 side walls, a ceiling, and a floor. And you can see this side on mine is a little bit longer than this side. That's totally fine. It's still 1-point perspective, it's just your view shifted over a little bit, and that is okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a checkerboard floor. Now for this, my other ruler didn't have measurements on it, and this time I'm going to measure a little bit. So I'm going to use this ruler, I'm going to line it up along this bottom line here on the floor. It's roughly 5 inches in length, so I'm just going to kind of work with that, and I'm going to mark every 1/2 inch. You can decide what you want to do, and by all means, please feel free to just eye it. That's okay. Alright, so now once I have that, I'm going to actually switch back to this ruler, and I'm going to line up my vanishing point to each of these intervals, and I'm going to draw the line back. Okay, so it's easy. You can just kind of slide along. Just move your ruler just a little bit. Make sure you're hitting each interval along with the vanishing point. And then you're going to draw those lines back. And this is going to be the start of our checkerboard floor. Okay, so now I've got my floorboards there starting. And this could be a good example if you want like a wood plank floor or something like that. But again, this is what we're going for. We're going to work on adding the checkerboard. So now the next thing you're going to do, and you can certainly eye this one instead of measuring it, but you're going to take your ruler. Well, actually, I'm not even going to use my ruler for this. I'm going to make some intervals along this line, and as I come back in space, each interval is going to get a little bit wider than the last. So I'm actually only going to end up with 3 on here. Then what you're going to do from this point is you're going to take your ruler, line it up, and you're going to be creating some horizontal lines that are parallel with this line. Okay. And the perspective is, as you get back in space, those start to get wider and longer, okay? And if I wanted to, I could actually add in, I'm going to add in one more right down here, okay? So now I've got my checkerboard floor. Now from here, if you want to go ahead and shade in every other, add a little bit of color, you certainly can do so. I'm not going to take the whole time to do that, but just again to show you, okay, you can start to go every other to create that checkerboard floor look. Now, very quickly, there's a lot of different things you could add into the room. You can add in furniture, you could add in like cubes like I've showed you how to do, but just quickly, I'm going to show you how to add in a doorway. So let's put a door over here on this wall. You're going to line up your ruler to the vanishing point and just bring it up as high as you want your door to come, and then draw a little line like this. So I decided I want my door this high. Then I'm going to come down and I'm going to draw 2 vertical lines straight down. Erase that a minute. And then from here, if you want an open doorway, one thing you can do is just draw a line at this little corner right here, just a horizontal line straight across your paper. Then it looks like you're starting to go down a hallway. You could also make this into a door if you wanted. And now if you want to put a window over here, you actually are going to start doing the same thing, line it up to your vanishing point, determine how high you want to come up, and then how low you want your window to go. So I'm going to come down again on my vanishing point and put in the bottom of my window. And then I can just connect these 2 lines from here to here. Okay. And I've got a little window or maybe some artwork on the wall. And if you wanted to put like a window pane, like the little T shape in there, you could line this up to your vanishing point and then have a line come straight down. Okay, and you can measure it to get it exact. You could add some curtains, you could add light fixtures, whatever you want to do. But this is a basic interior space using 1-point perspective.